Yesterday was May 4th, and usually it's known as Star Wars Day, and people say, May the 4th be with you. Now, one interesting topic that can be taken from the concept of the Force is personifications or anthropomorphications. I'm going to go through a few clips where people are talking about the Force in the Star Wars context and in other contexts, where we can see what's the difference between the different forms of personifications or anthropomorphications that people use when they are talking about something that is actually personified. Now, in Star Wars, there's the actual Star Wars movies, and there are the stuff that came from the Star Wars stuff that are present in like other movies, which, because of it being a pop culture phenomenon, it entered lots of other movies and other discussions. So here we go.
The Force is strong with this one.
So the Force is strong with this one. The Force here is accompanying somebody someplace.
The Force, a Jedi.
I am no Jedi, but I know the Force.
So I am no Jedi, but I know the Force. So there is a kind of a relationship over here. This character knows the Force. It knows it. It is... it could be a relationship thing where somebody knows somebody else, or it could be more of an educational thing. So I know this, I don't know this, I have information about it, I don't have information about it.
She is strong with the Force.
She is strong with the Force, accompanying.
That's not how the Force works.
So that's not how the Force works, giving the Force agency and the Force doing something or not doing something.
Rey, may the Force be with you.
He was the best young trooper on the Force and was dating the prettiest and...
So in this context, this person is on the Force, but here Force is taken in a different context, not related to Star Wars, and it's more related to being a soldier. Back to Star Wars.
Only together can we turn him to the dark side of the Force.
Now, the Force over here is something that has sides. There is the white side of the Force, and there is the dark side of the Force. How does this apply in person's day-to-day life? So they might say, on my good days, the anxiety helps me figure out stuff and think about stuff. And on the bad days, on the dark side, what's the bright side of anxiety is it makes me pay attention to stuff I didn't pay attention to before. The dark side of anxiety is I worry a lot about other stuff. So there's a descriptor of something that is an emotion or an experience that's made into something that is more concrete, that you can relate with, that you can also talk about in certain ways that make more sense. In the end, it's all more of a linguistic description of stuff that makes things easier for people to express, talk about, and share their experiences. Let's continue.
Strong am I with the Force, but not that strong. The way of the Force.
So the way of the Force has a way. There is a path that people follow when it comes to the Force.
Remember, a Jedi strength flows from the Force.
So here, a Jedi strength flows from the Force. So the Force is a source of energy. It gives something.
Your father was seduced by the dark side of the Force.
Now, this goes into relationships again. So the dark side of the Force seduced your father. Your father was seduced by the dark side of the Force. So he was passive to the active element, which is the seduction of the dark side of the Force. And with people who have eating issues, I was seduced by the tastiness of this sugary plate or this unhealthy plate that I ate on that day, and I can't handle myself from the being attracted to this kind of food. So it's more of a relationship over here. We do not control what we're attracted to, what we're not attracted to. It's something that happens spontaneously. It's when the right power is there, it just gets things to be attracted. There's also the metaphor of being magnetic and magnetism.
When I first knew him, your father was already a great pilot. but I was amazed how strongly the Force was with him.
The Emperor will show you the true nature of the Force.
So in this example over here, there is the true nature of the Force and there is the false nature of the Force. What's real, what's not real, and the comparison between these two different things.
Rejoice for those around you who transform into the Force.
So here they're talking about life and death, becoming with the Force, with this, which is something that you can connect with, become a part of. Eventually, you come from that, you get back to that after a certain point in time.
May the Force be with us all.
Is he not to destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force?
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities.
So now, the dark side of the Force is a pathway. It's something that you can follow that gets you into certain abilities, into certain ways, into certain efficiencies of doing stuff.
Some consider to be unnatural.
The dark side of the Force surrounds the Chancellor.
So in this case, it's something that is surrounding. It's circular, it may be energy, it may be something different.
I know there are things about the Force that they're not telling me.
Let me help you to know the subtleties of the Force.
So you get my point. There are so many different things that can be attributed to certain things. This is easily the most recognized in pop culture, especially with people who like Star Wars and have a certain sense of relationship with the Force and may the Force be with you, etc. So what other personifications you know from pop culture? What other stuff that you notice people use that are in their day-to-day life? Maybe not in movies, maybe not in experiences that are very trendy, but maybe in the day-to-day things, maybe the traffic tires me or stuff like that, that you hear on a consistent basis that you can share. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any specific topic that you're interested in, just pop it in the comments. And one last thing, if you want to find stuff like I did with these kind of statements, just go to playphrase.me, where you can find any statement from any movie and just check it out if you need to use it in any of your work. So thanks for watching, and I wish you a lovely remainder of the day. Bye.